Because if he is, they just released Demaryius Thomas as a result.
To the Jets, to the hated Jets.
Right,
Bill Belichick has never dealt with the Jets for AB.
So the question is his talent greater than his off-field issues?
No. Because nobody's talent is greater than what you can do. No, it doesn't match up, never. Because you're talking about $1 billion industry. One monkey can't stop that show.
No.
So, it's no way.
And so, and his contract that he got with New England is back-end loaded.
So, the
no guarantees.
The contract he got with New England is the same amount of money he would have made in Oakland this year.
But on the back end.
Yes. It's a small
performance-laden.
He can make 15.
So,
but he left 29.1 on the table that if he kept his fat mouth shut for 48 hours, it would have been his, regardless of the outcome of what happened.
Well, would you? All right, let's. Would you keep your mouth shut if you knew you could make it elsewhere?
You don't gamble, Chuck. You don't. That's like me taking a $1,000 check that I got and I let it out the window and gamble with it. He don't do that.
He knows his worth now.
His people around him should have let him do that.
He's betting on his talent.
He knows his worth.
He's 30 years old. He's not 24.
He tested the market. He found out what he was worth. He knows what he's worth. Now he says, okay, I don't want to be here. I just wanted to know what I was worth.
I don't know what he's mad at Oakland for. He's the one that messed up there.
He's not
he
mad
had
at
the frostbite.
Oakland.
Okay, that was an accident.
Oakland
then
gave him
2 double grievances with the helmet. And then the incident with the general manager in front of the team. Threatened to punch him in the face.
All of that is, please release me. That's all that means.
If that's true.
And I don't think that was staged and orchestrated?
Please release me.
You think that was staged? Was that a guy from a temper tantrum who said he couldn't get my way?
I got to find out how much I'm worth to the highest bidder. And then once I find out how much I'm worth to the highest bidder, then I can say, okay, this is what I'm worth. Now, how do I get out of it?
But he didn't get it, though. So he didn't get what he was worth.
He's getting
half of it.
But half is not the same as the whole, right? And then on the back end of it, none of it's guaranteed, and if they release him.
Nothing in football.
So let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. When we go 17 weeks from now, he'll have 30 million.
No, 15. He'll have 15. It's $9 million guaranteed, 7 in incentives. He can make half of that. So we got a better deal in a shorter span. He got a 1-year deal.
So in 17 weeks he's gonna have his money.
There's been one player in the history of the NFL that's got a guaranteed football contract. Julio Jones just signed a $66 million extension.
I saw he was trying
I think he got 64 just by walking in the facility. He got it. So kudos to him.
Smart, man.
I think the bigger problem for me is not even about the money, his worth. It's about the example he's setting.
Now that I don't agree with at all.
Right, because there's a way you conduct business.
I'm going to go in because too many of us are making it and then destroying it at the same time. You can't keep giving young men and women the opportunity to better their lives through something that they love and they keep destroying it. It's not just the brothers. It's not. Because look at what's going on in the WNBA with Brittany Griner. She's running around fighting everybody. She's running around causing commotion. But they're giving her an opportunity to provide for her family. And we're just throwing it away. And I'm talking across the board.
But remember the topic tonight is dude stop
embarrassing us. That's everybody.
These guys don't know that the NFL, the NBA, all these leagues, they got top-notch executives who went to Harvard, Ivy League schools. You got top-notch lawyers. So you got top-notch accountants. Why do these cats keep thinking they're bigger than the program?
Well, they are. So let me be clear. What they don't understand is this. All that you just talked about, the lawyers, the executives, they're not the attraction.
Nope.
And so the strength and power is in the talent. But you got to do it a certain way. You can't do it the Antonio Brown way where you look like a fool and a straight ass, or Brittany Griner punching people in the face, right? Look, and I hate LeBron James. When I say I hate LeBron James, because I love his talent, and I love what he does off the floor. But the way he conducts himself is as admirable as it comes.
He's the most.
Hold up. Why you don't like the king?
Because he cries. Because he straight changed teams. He wants to be the king. He's the greatest off the court of any athlete I've ever seen in terms of philanthropy and giving back to the community, and he's the greatest example of a black father at home being responsible not only to his own children but the community and the village at large.
In his generation.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. You're exactly right. In his generation,
he's
right? But as a basketball player, I don't have a lot of respect for him, man.
Why?
Because the dude cries about everything. You're the biggest.
I'll say this. The way that basketball is designed now is totally suited for him.
Absolutely.
Because he wouldn't have been able to do it.
We're going to get back on target, too.
Hang on a second. The views expressed on this show are not necessarily the views of the host. Go ahead, continue. Go ahead, what y'all saying?
So, he's a product of the game changing for him.
Yeah.
So we get mad at the things that he does on the court, but the reality of it is if Jordan would have went to a referee back in his day and cried about a foul.
He did.
What do you think would have happened the next 5 trips down?
He did.
Yeah, he definitely cried. But here's what Jordan didn't do. Here's what Jordan didn't do. He didn't say, trade me to this team.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. And here's the greatest one, right? We got kids today that tell me it's great to be the second runner-up. Yeah, I'm not playing for second. Yeah. I don't care if I went to 8 straight championships.
That's part of the third segment.
We'll get into that. Yeah, so we can stick on Isaiah Washington now. If you want to, we can go to A.B.
Yeah,
we can go to Charles Barkley. We can go to Charles Barkley.
Those two.
So Isaiah Washington and Charles Barkley supporting Donald Trump is the epitome of voting against or supporting against your own interests, right? Supporting someone that is not for your interest. Be clear about this. Donald Trump has no desire. None whatsoever. And we go back to the Central Park 5 case. Yep. I go back to New York with that dude with slumlords. There's nothing he's doing to help us. Anything that when I say us, minorities, people of color, whatever he does, it's a photo op or it's an opportune moment to dispel the truth about who he is.
Well, here's the thing. We put the worst businessman in the history of our country. Period. We put him in office.
Period.
I mean,
go to Atlantic City right now and see how dismal and downtrodden of a town it is after Donald Trump hit it.
That's what we did, and now we're mad because we did it, and then now the voters that voted are mad at all the non-voters because we're like, man, how could you not vote and let this happen? But the reality of it is, it happened. We got the worst businessman in history in the front office making all the decisions, and he's running like a business that he's trying to file bankruptcy.
And listen, and he's trying to line his family's pockets, right? His whole, my perception is his whole idea was to rob the country blind in broad daylight without a gun.
He said if he's not voted back into the presidency for 2020, that the stock market's going to crash. The ball's on this guy.
It probably will. Look,
the ball's on this guy to make a statement like that.
Why would you say that? Because I don't agree with that.
If he's saying it, believe it. Because, I'll put it to you this way. You never know who he's positioning where. And you never know what businesses are, because the stock market is business driven.
No doubt.
Trade,
no doubt.
It's foreign trade and it's business driven.
Yeah.
And we talking about, like I said, the worst businessman in history running the country. So if he's telling you it's gonna crash,
how much time?
He gonna crash.
All right, so here's the thing, right? So Isaiah Washington says he's going to support the policy, right, of his president, right? So there's not a policy that he's written. Let's just talk about the tax, the tax code, or the tax break that he just gave companies, and he said it's going to be a trickle-down theory. Mm-hmm. All of these companies have made more money in dividends and shareholder value that they have not poured back into the companies themselves. They have taken checks for millions of dollars based on this tax code that they would not have otherwise gotten. Mm-hmm. So there's not a policy that supports who Isaiah Washington is, an out-of-work actor who's shunned by major Hollywood studios. Brother, I appreciate your strength, but you high. You on crack right now. You smoking some good one.
He put himself in that boat.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
We got to go to break, man. We can spend the whole hour on this topic, but we got to go on. Enigma Code DC, we come back, we're going to talk about top Democratic nominees. The pack was real tight in the beginning, but now we're starting to stretch out.
Yes.
All right? So Enigma Code DC, need 2 minutes going to break. We'll be back. Stay with us.
When they say I support the policy, He doesn't have a policy that's about bringing anybody together. It's for a select few. Everyone has policies.
Everybody's jumping on that wagon trying to get their policy.
That's what it is.
That's all it really is.
And Charles, you see the sisters. What's the name?
Should I get them riled up? Or should I keep it even keel? I feel like stirring up the pot.
And what about the
I
brother?
don't know. Maybe we'll just keep it even keel tonight.
The brother that's a comedian. I can't think of his name. He be online on social media. Hold on, man. I'm gonna get his name for you. This dude he's a clown. But they come out here and they support Donald Trump. Oh man, the rhetoric is just reckless.
While you're thinking about it, Jim Carrey is giving Trump the business at least once a week. He does drawings now, making Trump look bad. And Bill Maher goes in on Trump daily.
Who?
Bill Maher.
Oh, he goes hard.
Listen, there's one thing about publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity. The more people write about him, the more people put him on TV, the more people do cartoons and talk about him, and the more he gets, the more power he gets, and the bigger that train becomes.
Look, and can I say something? I'm not a Trump supporter, but I admire his hustle.
Oh, yeah.
Like he straight up hoodwinked us, man. Bamboozled us broad daylight.
Like, listen, when I say the worst businessman, I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Because he's at the top. Like,
yeah.
He grind his way to the top of every single business he had. And then what did he do when he was done? He got rid of it. Yeah. Okay, I made enough money off of it. I did what I wanted. Now, okay, I don't want it anymore. Let me get rid of it.
Everything he's ever done like that. And he shorted other people on, like, look, I'm not paying you.
Yeah, you know what? I owe all you. All right, so when you put it together, hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead and file it. I don't want to pay nothing, so I'm gonna go ahead and file it. Yeah, just file it now. You know, he probably had it written for 20 years, and then when he finally didn't want to pay anymore, yeah, okay, guys, I just filed. I'm sorry. No, that's not. Like I said, can you be mad at him?
No, his hustle is real.
You know, the ultimate hustle.
I don't know the right ratio of mix here, brother. I'm gonna mess this up. Like I told you, Sarah, this thing gonna sneak up on you.
5, you ready?
Whatever happened to this brother?
We are back. Enigma Code DC representing the DMV. Your host, Ricky Santiago. We on segment 2. That was D'Angelo playing on the interlude. I don't know what happened to him, but that song right there, that was my theme song for driving up and down 95. When I lived in Charlotte, going back and forth to Albany, New York, that song always seemed to get play up here in the DMV. When I was coming through Virginia, DC, Maryland, that song always made me feel real good at D'Angelo. That's why I picked that tonight, digging in the crates. Segment 2, top Democratic nominees for 2020. Not too long ago, we were all together in a pack. And now the pack has thinned out. We got Joe Biden, who seems to be number 1. Mm-hmm. He's been in the boardroom. He's been in the war room. He's got the most experience. He's raised $18 million so far. You got Bernie Sanders, who's in second place. Some say third. Mm-hmm. He's raised $24 million. His money's coming from people over 65, and he's got a strong grassroots movement of followers. People that support the grassroots movement are behind him. I love Bernie. He's got great ideas, but he's 77 years old. Elizabeth Warren, maybe she's been there, but to me, she's come up through the pack. She knows that policy book like the back of her hand. She knows that policy book frontward and forward, and she has promised to erase student debt for tens of millions of Americans. So she knows the policy book, playbook, and she's promised to erase student debt for a lot of people. Kamala Harris came out swinging, attacking people. She's kind of dipped down to 4th, and then your guy Buttigieg and some other guys have slipped down. You guys' thoughts on what's going on, how we're looking for the Democratic Party?
We have to look at it in a way that they're all competitors. So at the end of the day, we only can have one. Mm-hmm. So they're all competing against each other for the same thing.
Yep.
Now, what we got to decipher is which one's going to be the best one to represent us, to bring us out of the hole that we're in.
Right.
Now, the way it's going is looking it's looking bleak. You know, it's not, it's they're falling off by the wayside. They're going at each other, they're chopping each other down, and it's going to make it easier for Republicans to chop whoever comes out of it. It's going to make it easier for them.
I was really surprised that Kamala Harris came out swinging like that in the early rounds. She came out straight attacking. I'm like, damn, we all on the same team here.
Yeah. We
all on the same team. If you get in, I'm sure Biden's going to be on your cabinet somewhere. If Biden gets in, there's a good chance that you get on his cabinet somewhere. But not with all that mudslinging that she was doing.
You know, those deals, they don't get struck until the last hour. So right now, like I said, they're all competing. But they don't make it hard. They don't make it hard to make those deals happen at the last hour.
Here's the problem, right? We're all trying to attack Trump with policy and understanding of the Constitution and things like alleviating school loan debt, health care providing. I don't think you can run against whoever you are, Donald Trump, on those things. I think you got to attack him where he's weakest, and you got to expose who he is. There's a guy named Tim Wise. So you didn't think I was gonna come prepared, brother? I know who you are. There's a guy named Tim Wise who puts it best. He was part of the campaign that got David Duke not elected to governor and defeated him down in Louisiana. We got to attack and say who Trump is. He's a racist.
What are his weaknesses?
His weaknesses is that he's a racist, and you can point out to it all day and every day and all these things and just make it plain and clear and say it for what it is. And I identify examples where his behavior, policy, or rhetoric supports the racist narrative and what we all know him to be. But we keep trying to attack him on things. And if you ask me, Elizabeth Warren is the most prepared candidate to address this. But we talked about this before the show came on. I don't think Trump was ready for a woman president. We weren't ready for a black president.
Why is the country not ready for female president? The last election, it was supposed to be, I heard these things are rigged. And if that's true, it was supposed to be Hillary's chance. They were shocked when Donald Trump pulled it out at the end. I was in shock. The whole country was in shock. It wasn't supposed to happen.
I wasn't.
It was supposed to be her time. So is it her? Is it a female thing, or is it her?
Nope. I think there's this this narrative that has been kind of painted about her being untrustworthy. The issues with the emails, the things that happened. It was at Benghazi. Things that happened in Benghazi, and so people tend to believe the headline and don't dig deep into the actual facts of the matter. And so the headlines, and I can't think of my boy out of South Carolina, the senator right now. I can see his face, gray hair. He actually wasted more money, taxpayers' dollars, doing investigations that never came up with anything. I'm gonna get his name before y'all can talk, but it's not policy. And so why you say the country isn't ready? We weren't ready for a black president. That's why the reason, literally, I'm at the inauguration, and the next day, the first thing I see is that Mitch McConnell and his cronies are all over at the Capitol Grill having a secret meeting saying no matter what he does or says, we're voting against it. We're not supporting. Right? And Hillary Clinton was going to do the same thing with whoever the woman. If it's my girl, Elizabeth Warren, she going to get it hard. We're not ready.
I hope it's not true, but I heard that Clinton was trying to backdoor Obama several times, and they're not friends. They're always cordial at Democratic conventions and stuff, and nominees, but they said that they are not cordial, and I hope that that's not true. I don't want to think that way about Clinton.
Why? Because her husband smoked a little weed and kind of hit a girl off in the... what is it that you want?
Bill had some dirt, but he made it through 2 terms.
Where the Clintons from?
Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
I told you last show.
I understand what you said with that.
Remember the big hillbilly with the long beard, the overalls with no shirt on? Hey. He said, y'all asked for him, y'all got him.
Hey, the man she's from Arkansas. What did you expect? Now, let's get back to the country not being ready for a female president. I don't see nowhere I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't see it in my lifetime. I don't see us being prepared and ready for a female president because of 2 things. Number one, we are a sexist country.
Yeah, misogynist all day long.
All day long. If we get
2019.
It's 2019.
Going into 2020.
We just put a guy in office who thinks women are what? Beneath him, the scum of the earth, whatever. Yep. And we celebrated that with all of our everything. So I don't think our country is mentally prepared for a female president. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean that the best candidate is not a female.
Agreed.
It can very well be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when that female goes up against prototype, it's not gonna happen. It's just not, because our country's gonna look at that female and they're gonna be like, they're gonna turn around until they find that prototype.
Okay, but if you hit her with the question, she knows the policy book.
Doesn't
She
matter.
knows it.
You have
She don't have to. She
you
knows
have
it.
old white men trying to persevere in self-preservation. They want to hold on to that power that they have put in, that's gotten behind them, that they have experienced and endured and enjoyed for decades.
And you know what? You know what's so funny? We've said that for a long time.
Yep.
But there's a growing population of wealthy black men that think the same way.
Why?
You know what? You're on something.
It's a growing, I don't know why, but it's the root of all evil if you ask me. It's that little green piece of paper.
I keep getting guests that agree with each other. I'm trying to get some
It's
guests
that
on that
little
disagree. Every time I
green
get
piece
guests
of
on, they always agree with each other.
We don't agree with you.
Yeah.
But so that's a piece of the problem with it. So the green is a neutralizer, right?
Yeah, like,
but I think there has to be that one black man with $1 billion, whoever he is,
who don't care,
doesn't care, and stands up and says, you know what? This is why the country is wrong. This is what I've had. Like, you know, there's a circle. There's a circle of people that we have not sat around to have a conversation that we have never heard. And that billionaire?
You got one. Where's Jordan? Where's Michael Jordan?
You know what?
You got one, and he won't. Oh, there he's up top. He won't.
He will never.
You got one.
He will never do it.
You got one who can be in the people's ear, who can influence a lot of minds.
And I'm gonna say this:
He just
I'm
won't
not.
take a stand.
I'm not, and never have been a Jordan fan.
But I despise him. The way you feel about LeBron is how I feel about him.
I won't dog him out because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in pulling nobody down. But he'll never do it. That's not in his DNA. It's not.
But do you know why it's not in his DNA? Because he grew up in the old South.
Exactly.
Right? He came of age in the 60s and 70s, and he kind of understood his place, and he got his piece of the American dream. I don't want to disrupt that.
And now I'm gonna be quiet.
But we need that voice of that billionaire minority.
Well, we have it, but I don't know if that is his calling or his cause.
Who?
We have it.
Who?
I'm not gonna say his name.
You got a person in mind?
I'm not gonna say his name, but we do have it, and it, you know where I go with this. We'll go into the next segment, so I don't want to go there, but we do have it, and he's.
I know you're talking about one of two people.
Yeah,
same industry.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you think it's the guy we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And the only reason that I think would slow it down is because of the education piece.
Because he's not degreed?
Yep. I think that would be the only thing to slow it down. Otherwise,
perfect. I think money gets over on that. I think money,
do too.
I think money allows him. But the one thing I agree with you, and we said this earlier, that that guy is willing.
He's conscious
to do it different.
He's conscious.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's willing to do it different.
And he don't see this. He look for all. He's supporting all. He fights for everyone. He don't see this.
So can he do it by himself, or can he get others to come into it?
He'll have to. So
does Sean Carter's impact? So does Sean Carter's his recent move hinder him from being a part of that movement where we can get the country prepared?
Why would that hinder it?
Well, so there's so many people, the backlash that is received within our own community.
And you know what? We about to go off topic. Because we definitely, the disgruntled guy is going off topic and is about to go in on everybody who thinks that what Sean Carter did is wrong.
I'm going in ways.
It is wrong. No ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Singing this last year, 4 years ago, and now he's singing this.
There's no two ways about it. Listen, we had a young man who put his livelihood on the line and took a knee, shut it down, and said, I'm going to stand for a cause. All right? He stood for that cause. He got blackballed X, Y, and Z, whatever happened. Now let's fast forward to today and Sean Carter. Everything that young man stood for and fought for, the world don't understand that it came to fruition. The problem is they're mad that it wasn't him put in that position. That's the problem.
That it wasn't Kaepernick put in the position?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think they're mad at that. I think I think my man sold out. I think my man sold us out. I think my man really, because it's all about the green, what you just said. It's all about the green.
That was last week talking about, did Jay-Z backdoor his way into NFL ownership?
Yep, and so he sold us out, man. And I'm going to tell you what, here's some things that you got to hear, right? So the Van Jones is a part of an organization that's been funneling, so some money's been funneled to Van Jones organization, quote unquote, to help with programs that are supposed to be outreach and to address the injustices. $500,000 off the top.
What's the easiest way to destroy a cohesive unit?
Just to entice one of them
to infiltrate.
Yeah, to entice one of them to leave or segment or get out, right? And so, do you think you think Jay-Z's infiltrating the white man's world?
Why not?
He ain't. Nah.
He jumped into the NBA and look at it now.
What is it now?
Look at it now. He jumped into the NBA. Now look at it. His
ownership with Brooklyn was nothing more than a pitch man to show his face. I'm from Brooklyn, Jay-Z. He had this much ownership of the team.
It don't matter how much.
Chiseled out.
Now look at it. Now look where
he's got influence, but he's not owner no more of the Brooklyn team.
Listen, divide and conquer. Infiltrate, divide and conquer.
He's not dividing the white man. He's not dividing white America.
We're
divided. He divided us.
Listen. No, we divided us because we took
a
stance against
him. He divided us.
Listen, look at the videos. Look at everything that happened when he signed that contract and stood there smiling. We looked at him like, man, look at this Uncle Tom.
I'm not gonna call him Uncle Tom, but he's a selfish, self-serving.
Yeah, we called him every name in the book, right? But he's infiltrated that structure. How many of us tried to infiltrate that structure and never happened?
So when you go into that executive boardroom, let me be clear that you and I saw this in the video with him and Goodell. There's a certain way you have to talk, and there's a certain calmness, right? But it's all within the lines, and it's also, hey, and I'm gonna say this, nigga, you know your place. Nigga, don't say something that you ain't supposed to say. Don't do something you ain't supposed to do. You got some money that you brought to the table, but you ain't got our kind of money. Our money's old. Our money's long. You really ain't who you think you are. You're a little billion? Man, I got 30 of those. Matter of fact, I got 30 guys with 30 billion.
That was my thing with that. Jay-Z's in there now. He's in the front door, but he's only got one vote.
And then you go out and do what?
As the white man or the Jay-Z? Which
one? Jay-Z. Then you go out and do what?
Spend my money for me.
Exactly. And you do what?
But see, hold on. See, listen. What?
You turn into Sean Carter.
But hold on, listen to what you just said. Spend my money for who?
You go in as Jay-Z.
Oh, spend my money for who? See, but hold on, who's he really helping? Who's he really helping? Jay-Z's helping who? Blue and Beyonce? His legacy within his family? Or is he letting that money go on?
Keyword legacy.
And who's to say before all that happened that he wasn't bringing some of them people in that started going at him?
Some of the white people?
No.
Her brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know the answer.
We cut our hand off.
I don't know the answer.
Before we even got a chance.
But I can tell you this.
Who's to say?
This was a money grab. This was not. This is a money grab. It wasn't. Look, and we're going to test. Look, we're going to see 18 months from now.
We will.
18 months from now.
We talked about that last week. What is the timeline for Jay-Z to help us out? Is it 5 years? Is it 20 years? You say 18 months?
18 months.
You're saying if you don't see the 18 months,
see what I'm saying?
It's a failure.
We're going to put a timeline on a brother who just got into an entity that hasn't been infiltrated never. And now we're going to put a timeline.
Hold on, he's infiltrated as what though? Like he's an employee. He ain't no owner.
He's definitely an employee.
He's not an owner.
He's an employee.
Be clear, how many black owners are there right now?
No.
All of them can say this to Goodell. Let me be clear about this.
He's got 2 paychecks from the NFL. He's one of the key players in social justice reform for the NFL and for Super Bowl entertainment.
And I can tell you this right now: if all the white owners come to Goodell say fire him, guess what they're gonna do?
They're fired. They're fired. All they gotta do is
I don't care what he does.
They're fired.
He got to walk a thin line.
But at the same time, you gotta understand the two entities that he's in charge with are two of the game's biggest things.
Entertainment,
number one,
and justice,
and
social reform. What is
social reform?
Okay.
Because the social reform keeps the butts in the seat.
So then, I would rather see the money that Jay-Z has go behind a candidate that actually is going to go into legislation. And then here's the other thing I would like to see, right? If we really want reform in politics, we're talking about who's the candidate. Why don't we go look at having term limits and reform and how we allow
we need to redo that. We need
that, but more important than that, with that electoral college votes.
Oh, that's outdated. That's so outdated.
Hillary Clinton won the election.
Oh, that's 13.
She won the election by
That was with the 13 states back in 13 colonies. Yeah.
Finally, y'all agree on something. Let me ask y'all a question. We got to go commercial break.
That's terrible.
Kamala Harris is number 4. Okay. She wasn't in the top 3, but she kind of fell down. I liked her because she said if she gets in, she said NRA will have reforms within 90 days, or else she's just going to executive order to start changing shit, which I love. Number 2, she got the balls to take them on. I like her. She said teachers will get the largest raise they've ever seen in their lives. So she got my vote. But she's over 50. But I'm talking about, what about the Pete Buttigieg from Indiana, the mayor of Indiana? What about the Cory Bookers from New Jersey? What about the Andrew Yangs who started Veterans America?
Not enough cachet and politics in her name.
Beto O'Rourke, El Paso, he's doing big things on there. Why are we not going with the youth movement? Why can't you? Because the country's not all old people. Why is nobody going for that youth movement and get behind somebody and turn this thing around?
Partly because we raised a generation of youth who have less accountability and less stake in anything they do.
And that is the third segment, and I can't wait.
So that's part of it, what I see, right? Because we want to live in I have a son that's 21 years old, and he says this to me all the time. Man, just let me live. I said, the problem is you just want to let me live without any knowledge or awareness of something bigger than you. And when we do that, we're selfish, and we're the worst enemies to ourselves as a society at large.
Man, that's a good stopping point right there. Go ahead, then we're going to break.
Nah, we go ahead.
Huh? That was segment 2. That was fiery. We got off topic, but that's all right. That segment, the youth of today, generation lost.
I think Jay got it.
A generation gone under. Can't wait. Be back in 3 minutes.
So I would love to see him actually put together policy or some sort of, I don't want to say legislation, but some sort of reform within the NFL that addresses the racial disparity. Right? And I'm talking about when I say coaches and executives.
That segment was kind of fiery. That's what we like. Stir up the pot and just sit back and watch the fireworks.
And the only one who hasn't is Tom.
And you know what's crazy about that? So, coach, listen, so the thing about Tom that blows my mind, he's had success, right? And he's not somebody that you hear stuff about in the newspapers. Players love him. Go to Pittsburgh and ask people about Tom. I don't get it. They won't even give him credit for the Super Bowl. Oh, it's Cowboys players. What? I don't care whose players, but you still got to go through the process. And you know this better than anybody when it starts in OTAs in the spring. Go all the way through to January to the Super Bowl and win it.
Yeah. So when I was in Tampa, he was in position.
It's not their choice. If we vote for them, they got it.
Coaches that when I was in Tampa. Listen to this, coaches.
They don't see more than Ezekiel.
Nah, it wasn't Benji.
Oh,
I came in after Benji. So listen to the coaches he had. Lane Kiffin. He had Kiffin.
Wow, offense.
He had him. He had Tomlin, Raheem Morris.
Wow.
Yeah, was a position coach.
Yep.
Man, it was about 7 guys off of that staff that are now or have been head coaches.
Wow.
And guess what? They all come under. Now they all fall under. What's his name's coaching tree? But originally they were hired by Tony Dungy.
I don't even give that dude credit. You know what I love about Tony Dungy?
He don't say nothing either.
I love that. He don't even make
He don't make a fuss about it. He let that Super Bowl in Tampa go. He said, all right, you know what? Go ahead. Because I'm honest. Every coach on that staff was hired by Tony Dungy.
That's an amazing staff, man. That's like the best of the best.
Man, you know what?
Like the best young minds in football at the time is on that team, what you're telling me.
Yeah. Who was it?
That's the best young minds in football at that time. So what's the deal with Lane Kiffin, man? Why has he not been able to stick around?
I don't know, man.
Because he's a genius offensively.
Wow.
Some guys, you know, what's the guy that he might have been the head coach while you were in Dallas? North Turner.
We got 5.
So North wasn't there. So I came in under Parcells.
Okay, so what I would always say about North Turner was he was never made to be a head coach. He's a great offensive mind, but keep him as a coordinator. Yeah.
We are back, y'all. Enigma Code DC, repping the DMV. Your host, Ricky Santiago. Segment 2 was fiery. I didn't have to say a whole lot. That's what I like. Segment 3. This session hits close to home with me, and I'm sure a lot of other people. The youth today. Dog, the weed smoking. I don't care about marijuana. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But if you get up and that consumes your whole day, where you don't want to work, do nothing, can't make goals or something, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? The feeling of entitlement. I got so many people who I know who built up a nice little empire. Nice pension, nice home, maybe second home, got some money put away, some cars, and these kids are just waiting for them to die because they think they're going to inherit the kingdom. And a lot of parents like, I'll give this shit to charity before I give it to him, who doesn't have any good work ethic or know how to do things. It's really sad, and don't get me started on this, because in education, this gets me fired up, but no matter what your outcome on this is, I feel like we should all grab 1 or 2 or 3 and just put them under our wing and try and show them the right way. Our thoughts.
So I had a young person tell me this about a week ago. He's not working. He's got a child. He's with the mama. Now he takes care of the child. There's credit there. But he says this statement to me: I'm not taking just any job. There's some jobs I'm not going to take. Hold on, though. You got no money. You got a child you're responsible for. Here's the kicker, and you only got a GED. But you're going to tell me you're not going to take certain jobs.
The feeling of entitlement pisses me off and burns me as much as the not taking ambition to do anything.
Coach,
the feeling of entitlement.
And I'll ask you this. The trophy generation, the participation trophy generation, how does it impact? Yeah, I knew I was going to hit a chord with that one. I knew I was going to hit that one. I played on, look, I coached a youth league football team. This is no lie. We were 4-5 going into the playoffs. We won a playoff game. Parents said, hey, we're going to have an end-of-year party. I said, for what? I got kicked out of the league because I wouldn't throw an end-of-year party for a losing team that won 1 playoff game. We give trophies for participating.
What was the age group?
12.
That's right on that line. That's on that cutoff line. That's that line.
All right. So, 2 things.
Yeah, Coach, I had to get you with this one, Coach, because I know you got some feelings on it.
Oh, I got some strong feelings on that one. Even stronger feelings on the first topic. But I'm gonna hit both of them, and I'm probably gonna catch some flack for this, but I don't care. The generation. This generation has the, how can I put it? I'm trying to be nice about it because,
man, keep it real. Don't sit here and be soft on me, Coach.
They have the worst. They have the worst role models ever. We dropped the ball.
Yes.
Was it us or was it
No, we did. We dropped the ball. We dropped the ball.
I'm going to tell you why. Think about it. When we came up, whether it was single-family household, 2-parent household, whatever the case may be, it was some type of structure there that we knew that there were certain things that we could not do in that household. We knew we couldn't be out after the street lights came on, or it was going to be some other thing.
Us, it was a 5 o'clock whistle.
We knew
Yep.
that mom was going to work 2 jobs, or dad was going to come home tired from working at a factory all day, or mom was going to come home tired from working and dad, and we better sit down, be quiet, and shut up. Now, you have a generation that have the same things. Come home, parents come home, kid looking at them, and what we gonna eat for dinner? Kids, you go to the grocery, we don't have no food.
So
But we have ever in life walked into our house when our parents were sitting there and said, we don't have no food.
So are you saying that we as a generation are soft?
Yes.
Because Deion Sanders had this post that was pretty cool. I don't know if you saw this recently. You may have saw it. You may have saw it. We talked about the kids haven't changed. We've changed.
Exactly.
And we stop holding them accountable. We start providing. We start providing the structure. We start demanding respect. We stop with the things that are the intangible things. Forget the work ethic and actually showing up. Hi, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Yes sir, no sir. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We took one phrase from our parents and we turned it into a lifestyle. And that's not what they were trying to do. The phrase was, I want you to have the things that I didn't have. And we turned it into a lifestyle. Instead of teaching our kids how to earn those things that we didn't have.
So you know,
for me, I'm going on us. I'm because I got a 17-year-old and I gotta teach him the value of earning his own keep.
Come on.
Period. I don't care what the job is. There's no job that you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say, I'm not gonna take.
That's part of the answer though. That's part. You know what the other part is?
To bring another one along.
Well, so as parents, we have a responsibility to just kind of segue or piggyback off of what you're saying, to show them how. I was, and let them earn their way. Let them find, so growing up in Albany at 9 years old, man, you might be able to walk down the street by yourself. You catch the bus by yourself. Even if you got to transfer, you go downtown, right? You transfer up, you may take the 8 to the 3, whatever it is, to the 12, whatever it was, right? So you did that. Man, I would let my son walk outside by himself.
And you know what's funny?
Right?
You know what's funny?
What's that?
My son lives right across the street. We live right across the street from his school. He gets picked up every day.
That's bananas to me, man. And so
I'm when I say I'm going to go on us, I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about me.
I'll give them credit for this one little thing. Domestic terrorism, you can use as an excuse for the reason why you pick him up, and that's okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. If we can take the values and work ethic that we learned and combine, this is what I tell my sons all the time. If you can figure this out, you have more access to information today with technology than we've ever had before. Yeah. It also keeps you isolated.
Yeah.
So that you don't have interpersonal skills, right? And that you don't understand how to articulate your thoughts in person in the conversation. The guy or you gal or the young people or group of that understand that, how to take the interpersonal skills and the communication ability that we were brought up with and impact or allow technology, infuse that with the use of technology, they become the leaders of tomorrow. But we're not teaching them that. We're telling them, hey, you know what? You suck. You ain't this. Or, hey, you know what? You're a baby. You're a participation trophy kid, right? So I'm on the bandwagon. I'm doing it, right? But then I step back and go, hold on. These kids are smarter than we've ever been. But they lack that one piece that I think, the interpersonal skills and ability to meet face to face and have a conversation, look you in the eye, shake your hand. And are we teaching that stuff? Or when a kid tells us, hey man, get the F away from me, man, F you. Who you think you are? Don't tell me nothing. Do we get scared and walk away? Or do we stand our ground and understand this kid doesn't know what he doesn't know, and it's my responsibility to help him?
It's our responsibility to help these kids.
Yeah.
And let me give you a picture that kind of sums up this whole thing. Made me sick on my stomach. It was a lady on Facebook I saw. She had, you might know who it might have been yours, I don't know. The lady was on the metro or the bus. She was bent over, old lady. She was holding on to the pole.
And all the kids sitting there.
And it was 3 or 4 on their phones, headphones, sitting on the thing. Those front seats, the seat they were sitting on was for elderly and handicap. And I was just like, damn, that's what we become. It's sad.
Yeah. I mean, that's
sad.
That's another reason why I say we dropped the ball. Like it was something that was driven into us by our parents, our grandparents, whoever raised us in our generation. That there was a level of respect for our elders. There was a level of respect for people that we didn't even know. I mean, I rode the bus DC from so I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
And there's no way if I get on a bus in DC and I see I don't care if it's a young lady
You gotta get a seat up.
I'm giving my seat up because number one, it's a female, so she can sit. I done seen pregnant women get on buses, and like you said, kids look at them and keep on going.
But it's not a disrespectful thing. They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
Why don't they know though?
Right.
Because we did not teach them.
Is it because
So
we're
how
scared
do
of
we
them?
fix that?
Are we scared of
We
them?
are scared of them.
Are we
I'm
scared
scared
of
of groups of kids.
You know what?
I see groups of kids in Memphis. I'm not saying over them.
I don't.
There might be somebody with a stick-up kid over there. I don't know.
I don't do it, man. In my
don't.
community, man. Matter of fact, I spend a lot of time in PG and DC because of basketball with my sons. I don't care who the young person is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a conversation with you. If I see you doing something disrespectful,
You gotta
if I
talk.
see,
You gotta talk to me. You don't have to talk to me.
You know.
Yeah, you don't have to. Because I feel like this.
It's my responsibility, man.
I feel like that everything that I do in life is to make it better for the next generation. And
Yep.
the only way I'm going to do that to make it better is to teach them how to respect themselves.
Now you can't disrespect them to get to that point, right?
Exactly.
And that's part of the problem, right? We go off
Yeah.
and talk disrespect. Like you want respect from them, but we're being disrespectful to them,
Yeah.
right? They don't know any better.
Respect is earned. I don't care how old you are, it's earned. And you can be a 12-year-old kid. You have to earn that respect. You can't demand it.
Nah.
That's not gonna work. This generation, demanding respect has never worked. It was always earned. Even with our parents,
Absolutely.
it was earned. Now it was earned in a different way, but it was still earned.
But we gotta stop
Yeah.
being afraid of these young
Yeah,
people.
we really do. And
young.
young people, I'll say this too. The young people, stop being afraid of us.
Yeah, good point, Coach.
Stop being afraid of us because we are not the enemy. I know we dropped the ball, but some of us are trying to pick it up. Help us out.
And Coach, I'll say this, right? So we may have dropped the ball, but the reality of it is this: is that young people want it. They really do, and they want to know that you care, right? That's
That's
you
the
got to
biggest
show that you care.
That is the biggest thing.
Look, young fella, I understand where y'all. And here's the thing: they think they're doing something we've never done. They're not. They have more tools at their disposal than we did, right? You know, the advent of the smartphone and all the other technology.
But piggyback off that, the drugs, the sex, the sexual experimentation these kids are doing now, they're not even like, okay, we're kids, we got to be careful. They're like, I'm grown.
So
Listen,
Switching partners
You
and
said
doing
sexual
different stuff.
experimentation?
And the drugs and the...
I'm a virgin if I let them hit me in the ass. I'm still a virgin. That's a principle or philosophy of young people.
So-
I haven't let my vagina go, so I'm still a virgin.
So it's a couple of things that we have to, when talking to young people and trying to educate them on how to communicate and move forward in the future. It's a couple of things we're gonna have to start doing when we talk to these young people about it. Number one, remove these. Number two, remove these.
You ever seen the dinner table now?
There's no dinner table.
Mom's on hers, dad's on his, kids on theirs.
We have to because
With the TV playing in the background.
nobody in this generation, nobody knows how to have a conversation.
I
Yep.
agree.
Nobody. The regular conversation is gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
You know, we as men, we can sit here and converse on a radio, you know, whatever, on a show. But the minute we're done, all three of us is going to do the same exact thing. We're going to go here, or we're going to go here.
Yep.
Because we're going to find out who's calling us.
Yeah, but we're grown. We work. We got
That's the
families.
problem.
We're grown. It's
That's the
different.
problem.
These kids
What
are
do-
doing
what-
this,
what
and
do
that's
they-
all they're doing.
Well, what do these kids aspire to be?
Nothing now.
Exactly.
Wrong.
And they model the behavior.
They're just playing house.
They're
model
aspiring to
behavior.
They're
be
just playing
grown.
house.
They model
Because they
behavior.
know whatever they get into a part, whatever, they fuck it up, they go back home to mom and dad.
Look,
They
I
lay on the
had my
couch.
grown son say this to me, right? So I got a 34-year-old, I got a 21-year-old, I got an 18-year-old. So when my 34-year-old first moved out on his own, he's probably like 23 years old. And so he calls me up, he says, Dad, I need some money. I mean, what you need money for? He said, man, look, I paid all my bills, but I can't buy anything for myself. I said, yo, bro, that's how it works.
You did buy something for yourself.
No, but see,
You pay your bills.
He
see,
ain't
the
understand
sensitive side of me would have said, okay, Because you're responsible enough to take care of your bills.
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? Because the sensitive side of you would have took care of that, and you're creating a reality that doesn't exist. Because you know it doesn't exist. Here's what, Rob,
Brother,
Ricky Santiago. This is what happened.
exist.
You did not get to this point without some struggle.
Right.
And so you went without some things and didn't call, my favorite track coach and PE teacher and ask for money. And matter of fact, if you did, I know what he would have told you. Bro, you shit out of luck. You better figure it out. I prepared you, but don't tell me your father didn't. Come on, I know your father just didn't cave in. He didn't. That wasn't who he was.
No, you right. If I had to ask him, but I'm going to Mom Dukes first.
Oh, see what I mean? But so my point is, he didn't cave in right away.
I'm not afraid to ask Dad if I needed it.
Right, but the point I'm making is that too often we're ready to bail our kids out of
You didn't give him the money?
Hell no.
Wait, hold up.
Because you know what? He could have stayed at home.
He paid all his bills.
He did a great job,
He
son.
could have said, I fucked up some money to racetrack or something.
Great.
I need to pay these bills.
Now do me a favor, son. Find a job, another job that allows you to get those things.
Oh, man.
Listen,
It was cold, man.
Coach,
I hate to say it.
That is cold.
I'm in total agreement with
Coach,
you.
I don't
Let me
want to
tell
agree
you
with
why.
you right now, but it's facts. Am I right?
It's facts.
Come on, man.
Let me tell you why it's facts.
Yeah.
He called him to say, I need to get something.
He said,
for
I paid all my
myself."
bills,
Hold on,
though.
though.
Listen,
Go ahead.
I need to get something for myself. What he don't understand is he just did a lot for himself.
That's exactly right. My man.
He don't have to worry about nobody coming to put a note on his door to get out. He can drive wherever he want with whatever little bit of gas he got.
Okay, yeah. So what you supposed to do for the next 2 weeks?
Hey, he
Figure it
good.
out. The same thing
He
I
good.
did.
The same
And
thing we did for the next
if
2
you wanted
weeks.
more, work another job.
The
Work
same
another
thing
job.
we did for the next
Ricky
2 weeks.
Santiago, you on some dope right now.
Y'all is
Yes.
cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded. I'm cold-blooded.
Hey,
But that's what's
and
created
disgruntled because
the
I
youth you're
gotta
talking
make,
about.
I gotta make sure my son understand how to survive.
There it is.
You could have did it, okay, I'm going to bless you this one time, but in the future,
Nah.
One
you
time
just hit
turn
a cold
into two.
turkey?
One turn into two.
And I'm gonna
Two
tell you
turn
what-
into
Why do we work and save, and what are we building for? You can't take it with us when we die. What are we
So I'll
building
give it to
for?
you then. I'll give it to you. And to your point, Coach, it would have been better, right, had he not said, I want to be on my own. Really? You know how hard it is out there? You can stay at home and stack. Like I've told all my sons this. You can stay at home as long as you want, but you're going to do a couple things. You're going to either work and contribute something.
So you knew that was coming.
Right? And so he decided, I need my own rules. You got it, bro. Here's what happens with that. You take everything with you. You take everything. If you want to go ahead and have a few dollars for the fly jeans and the fresh kicks, I get it. They ain't coming from me no more. They ain't coming from me no more. Now, if you was going ahead and kicking in that phone bill money, maybe I'd give you, hey man, here's some kicks for you, right? But he said the right thing, and here's where we are as a generation, as parents. We want life better for them than it was for us. So I couldn't go get a pair of sneakers and jeans just because. I got stuff twice a year. You know what those 2 times were? School start and Christmas. I made it work.
You heard that. School and Christmas, not birthday.
No, I ain't get nothing for my birthday but a card. That was my life.
Why? Because they gave it to you. They gave that to you. Birthday,
Yeah,
they
it's a
gave it to
different
you.
generation, y'all.
Hey,
We can take $2
it's
and $3.
It's a different generation, but the question
do
was,
that now. You
the
can't do
question
that now.
was, why isn't a youth movement?
What's
And
going
that's
on with them? And there's no
That's
accountability
There's no
and no
accountability.
responsibility.
No responsibility, and there's no sense of how to figure out how to break through on a struggle.
I disagree.
And everybody,
On the break, we over.
and all the young people want this to be about them.
Oh yeah, that feeling of entitlement. That
It's the me generation.
What's
Me,
that
me,
song
me,
by
me.
Nas?
generation.
Whose world is this? Just hand out and the globe. The world is mine.
The problem is there's only one world, so it can't be yours if it's
Man,
a
that was.
billion people.
I disagree. I see where y'all coming from, but I disagree. We gotta go to break. We over an hour. I don't care. We coming back. We're gonna do a tribute to 9/11, and we're gonna ride out into the sunset.
Man.
Enigma Code DC. That's us.
There it is.
Going to
There it
break.
is.
Hey,
Damn.
that last one, I've been waiting to put that on somebody's social media.
Look, and
Cold.
I'm with you.
Blooded.
I'm
Cutthroat.
serious, man.
No extra money.
no extra money.
I care too much about these kids to keep letting them fail. And what I mean by fail is
Failed
me
is
bailing
sitting
them
on the
out.
couch. I'm not going to work that job.
Nah.
I'm not going here. I'm quitting college. I'm dealing with that.
So I worked.
These man is working and said, Dad, I paid all my bills. I need a little extra. He's doing everything he's supposed to do.
Listen, so
and you know California's the most expensive state in the United States.
But he was supposed to be at home. Like, so he had an opportunity. My wife and I said, look, you can stay home. You literally can stay home, work, and we will supplement your lifestyle.
So
I want to go on my own. Really? You sure you want that? That's a big want.
Yeah.
A lot go along with that. He left, paid all my bills, but I can't do the extra stuff. Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
So my son is 3.6, 3.7, 3.8 student. You know, A's and B's all the time. All the time. I don't give him nothing. You know why?
You're supposed to do that.
That's what you're supposed to do.
My man Red Thompson say it all the time, man. I'm not celebrating what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Now.
That's the problem.
Now. You go out there and you struggle through the football and you struggle through that, and you fight and you scratch and you doing all this, and you still getting that. Now I can do some things for you.
Yeah.
Because you're going above the education. You know, people don't understand that. Like, I don't. If my son was a 2.0 student and a star athlete, he wouldn't get nothing from me. You know why? I don't care how many yards you get, how many tackles you get. It don't mean nothing because you got a 2.0.
Well, you got the bar standing high. That don't mean he's a loser.
No,
that don't mean he's a loser.
But he's not.
You just got the bar set high, as you should.
I didn't say he was a loser. I said that extracurricular activity don't mean nothing to me. Because at some point it's going to go away. What you put in here, nobody can take from you.
I work at a company, man, and I work at a job that works this way.
And you know that.
We're going to pay you X amount of dollars, and it's good money if you sell the software to Fortune 500 and government agencies, right? Pay you great money. But the minute you don't, we're going to fire you. That's the way.